nerderotic.com.
Greetings, everyone. Welcome to the late Nerdrotic Nooner Friday Night Tights Super Chat Square Up. I feel like crap, but the show must go on. Can't be a wuss about this. It's just sitting down and talking to people, right? Couldn't be that bad. I might mispronounce a few things. Call the Wall Street Journal, the Washington Street Journal, shit like that, you know. But that's how it goes, you know. Almost 1,000 videos. I've made a lot of mistakes. Hi, everyone. We have a lot of super chats to go through, and then I have to save my energy for the Inquisition tonight on Doobcock's channel, where we will be covering, thankfully, the second to last episode, I believe. Or second to last episode of The Wokeman, which I'm sure will be just a Jim Dandy. It'll be a Jim Dandy. Greetings, Glenn B, RR, Trinoculus P, Fourth Drawer Down, US Dutch Kitty, Easy Does It, member, thank you, Chris Corkum, Unknown 289, DM, Ensign Ricky, Cracklin, John Smith, Nicholas Horton, Nerdy Empress, Kloksky, Russian Bot 011010101, Kenny Lee, AJD Helix, Norman Dempsey, Gordy Skymop, Easy Does It Plasma, 1972, Mark Lerzeth, Ozark Matt, Loquacious Primate, Irish Guy, WSE Entertainment, One Man Show, Shofi Ula, Thomas Preston, and all of you fine, wonderful, beautiful people who have decided to join me today. So Friday Night Tights, we mostly talked about Star Wars. We covered some Doctor Who. We covered some James Bond. I did see the Wonder Woman trailer, and I only do trailer reactions if it's Star Wars or Doctor Who, and I still owe you guys one, but they keep coming out with more trailers. So that video will be tomorrow or the day after, where I discuss Doctor Who. I am currently working hard on finishing my Star Trek Discovery Season 2 review that I've been working on for months, and I promise to have it out before Star Trek Picard in January. At this point, it's 2 hours long. I've gotten it down to 2 hours, and it needs to be a little shorter than that because there is so many things wrong with each episode. It would be bad to skip it because the worst thing that could happen to Star Trek Discovery is for more Star Trek Discovery to be made, and I guess we're going to get some more at the end of next year. So we'll start out with the super chats from last Friday, and then we'll get to you guys in the chat. Let's see. I need to get down to my video capture. Here we go. And we ended up with, I think there was a super chat about Odin. I think that's where I can start out. There was, do we have a 12-step program for Star Wars? This is the 12-step program for Star Wars. It's called YouTube. Here, let's cheat a little bit, and let's go to Odin. There we go. It was right in front of me. We have Brian Dolan for $2 said, "Long live General Calrissian." Calrissian. And yes, Billy D. Williams came out and said, "What the hell is gender fluidity?" I just wanted to say that I've got a sensitive side, and I guess that would be feminine. And he doesn't want to get drawn into all this garbage that's going on in Hollywood. And the man's 82 years old, looking great, by the way. And I wish they did him better. He should have been in the entire Disney trilogy, not at the end as a point of desperation and bringing him in because, whoops, we killed all the main characters and we thought everybody would like our new ones, and I guess they don't. They don't. Lady Gravemaster, hashtag we want Stargate in number 2 worldwide. And I read that one, but that's okay. I'm glad Stargate got trending, and hopefully you guys get more Stargate. You deserve it. Excuse me. How is there a curse? Antonio Cardenas says for $2, the curse of Cecil strikes again. There is no curse of Cecil. You can't curse what is pure love. And we love Cecil. He does a great impression of another independent YouTuber who decided to invoke my name incorrectly in a video and then wonder out loud if I have sexual problems. I have a lot of problems. That's not one of them, though. That's okay. And actually, Nerdrotic is supposed to be neurotic. It's supposed to be a take on neurotic. But it could be erotic, too, if you want it to. It could be whatever you want it to be. I don't care. Party Almsevi, what are movies but mystery boxes? Still angers me. It does, for $1.99. And that's what Rise of Skywalker is going to be. As soon as I heard Jar Jar Abrams was coming back, I predicted it would be an episode of Alias, and that's looks like the leaks are true, folks. It looks like it is the same occurrence as we had with Game of Thrones Season 8, except with a larger fan base. And I'm going to say this. I hope people don't take this wrong. But I'm going to say the Game of Thrones and the Song of Ice and Fire fans are a little more particular, a little more discerning. They're into their lore. And I think they expect a little more from their series than the people who still like Disney Star Wars. I'm not talking about OG Star Wars fans. Termin versus EST. I was expecting Mondo and Rookie Bounty Hunter to fight Tuskens, not negotiate with them. That would have made the episode at least a tad more fun. That is the scene I was talking about on Friday Night Tights that creates a problem for the original trilogy. Now, that scene by itself, whatever, it doesn't mean much. But if you read between the lines on that scene, Disney's been tripping since they bought Star Wars that they need to make it relevant. And I said it in my last video. I will keep saying it. Star Wars is not supposed to be relevant. It's supposed to be timeless and inspirational and fun. It's not supposed to be relevant. When you make something relevant, you date it. You know what's extraordinary about the first Matrix film? The first Matrix film is essentially a hacker film done in 1999, late 90s, early 2000s. Can't remember the year now. And those are the most dated types of films you can make, but they managed to not date that film. And it is a timeless classic now. I mean, forget the other two, but it's a timeless classic. I mean, they show a disc, but so what? I mean, we still use those. So I think that's a great example of not dating something. And Star Wars is supposed to be a fairy tale, for Christ's sake. It's not supposed to be dated. Stargate. I mean, again, that's like trying to make a. How do we make the Lord of the Rings relevant? You don't. You don't. Do you guys think there's so much politics we're seeing now because they were written 3 years ago during 2016 election and its aftermath? Stargate 404 for $5. That's a very good question, and the answer is yes. We are seeing all the products that were created 2 years ago, and that's why we are seeing so many politics right now. And unfortunately, it's not going to fade away because by the time this stuff comes out, well, we've got another election coming around. And I'm not really super paying attention to everything on the presidential side, but it's looking like the orange man's going to win. I don't know. I could be wrong, though. Thunder Robots. Now that China is experiencing economic collapse, where do you think Disney will get the overseas money, since that is where they claimed the money is? Thunder Robots, China was holding up theatrical films for the longest time. And quite frankly, the only company right now that's churning out consistent hits is Disney. And it's because Disney knows how to make homogenous basic family stuff. I mean, like, I would never watch it. Frozen 2. I didn't see Frozen 1. I won't see Frozen 2. It made a lot of money. Some people enjoyed it. That's fine. Some people thought it was woke. That's fine. It's a cartoon. But it's going to be a problem in the future because independent films have gone down 30% in ticket sales, and that's your minor league. You need independent films are the backbone of the movie industry, and if those things start dying out or they have to go elsewhere, that's where the future. That's why the future is in streaming and in television. And honestly, there's so much out there right now. What's going to happen to Hollywood is what happened to every other industry that had to change their format. They've had ultimate control until now. With radio had control. Music industry had control. They produced all the CDs, the albums. Radio had, you had to have licenses to have to broadcast antennas. Same with television. Now it's wide open, and soon as your property hits the internet that you paid millions of dollars for, it's free. It's free to everyone who wants it, and what you are relying on is the honesty of the consumer. And quite frankly, Disney is very lucky to be based in a country where people will stop at a four-way stop without a cop in sight in the middle of Utah. We're primarily a pretty honest society, so they're going to make enough money, but they're losing tons, and they're not going to make as much down the road as they would have in the movie theaters and stuff. So the infrastructure is very expensive, and it's constantly changing. I know they've been working on Disney Plus for 5 years. And quite frankly, when it came out, I thought it was very average. I don't like the format. It's user friendly, but I don't know. I just Netflix and Amazon and Hulu are light years ahead of them on that. So they can't rely on China forever. And everybody knew this. China, it's too big for one, and most of the people are still poor, unfortunately. It's getting a huge middle class, and that's good. But I will break out this one time and get political and say they're going to have to change their government if they're going to want to continue to grow. Nova Zero for Australian $5. Birthday and Star Wars is soon. Noons offered to shoot me. Help. Okay, I don't want anybody shooting you. Don't get shot. Can you get shot in Australia right now? I don't know. Or is that Australian? Yeah, I think it's Australian. No. Enjoy your birthday. Try not go see original Star Wars on your birthday. There you go. Captain F-Head for £2. You want to buy a Mogwai? Sure. Why not? And I'm going to feed it after midnight and get it wet. Brian Dolan for $2. Thank you, Captain Fuckhead. By the way, see Midway instead. I heard Midway was good, and I'll probably see it at home. But I heard it's pretty good, and I would definitely want to see it. Matt G for $2. Is Vegas taking odds on what ending we're getting? That is a good question. I heard somebody mention earlier on Friday that they're taking odds on... what the hell was that? They're taking odds on Baby Yoda using the Force and the Mandalorian removing the mask. I don't know if that's Vegas or if that's the UK. They're the ones who take odds on the weirdest shit. Peter Davison, any Doctor Who news? Yes, there is. We've gotten multiple trailers and a lengthy promotional interview, which pretty much justifies every review Bowles Trek and I did. It's really stuck in their head that the critics of Doctor Who found it to be very simplistic show, basically an after-school special. The action was terrible, and now you're hearing people going, "This is the scariest season of Doctor Who ever. I actually got scared on the set, and the monsters are scary, and it's so exciting. And the New Year's special is going to be a blockbuster like the movies." And that's exactly what they said last year. And it was silly. It's silly. And Doctor Who was supposed to be silly, but not in a cringy way. Jaegerbomb. Any hope for Star Trek as for Star Wars? For those who choose to watch, will that audience be split in half too, like Last Jedi? Who's going to watch? I think we're pretty much... I don't know how many people are still on the fence with Star Wars. I think the people who are going to enjoy it are going to enjoy it. And I think the people who aren't going to enjoy it aren't going to enjoy it. I think it comes down to this. The legacy characters. How much they piss on them by the end of this film. And the fact that Palpatine is coming back is peeing on Luke's grave. So it doesn't matter how the film turns out. Palpatine should not be coming back. Snoke should have been the villain. They should have built him up. He could have been an acolyte of Palpatine. But the reason behind bringing back Palpatine was to make Rey superior to Luke. Which they could have just made Rey equal to Luke and everybody would have been happy. But because we have this altar of agenda that we need to sacrifice all of our older male characters on to make up for some wrongs in Hollywood, Luke will now be just a stepping stone. Oh, fireworks, because it's freaking December 8th, San Francisco. P. Byers, I care that your little feelings were hurt, Jer. Jeremy, somebody cares that your feelings were hurt, Jeremy. If you're out there, what's up, Jeremy? Thank you, P. Byers, for the $2. Oh my gosh, how is Aram Bedrosian? You guys are amazing. Thank you for keeping it real in an increasingly fake world. What are your thoughts on the whole secret Skywalker thing that may be part of the mythical Lucas cut? The Lucas cut. I don't know. If there's a Lucas cut out there, this will be released the Snyder cut times 1,000. So I think we will get a definitive answer on that. I think if enough people demand it and enough people say it's out there, we'll get an answer from Disney on whether it's out there or not. Do I think there is a Lucas cut? I don't know. I will discuss that with Doomcock tonight on the Inquisition. I would need more information. I trust my friend Doomcock, and I know he got information from sources. But I'll be honest with you, and I try to be that at all times. And I love my friend Doomcock, and he even mentioned this in this video. To me, that smells a little bit of misinformation, but I could be wrong. And if there's a Lucas cut out there that scored 88% and Disney, shit canned it, I tell you what, yesterday I wouldn't have believed that. But after I read the Washington Street Journal and heard Bob Iger say we want to move forward and we don't want to be burdened by George Lucas's legacy, then I'm willing to believe anything. Sorry, I'm getting messages. Un momento, por favor. Just checking to make sure it's not... It's Geeks and Gamers. Okay, yeah, so after hearing Bob, and the reason I kind of clowned him in the video is I plan to probably just make a separate video on that whole statement, and believe me, Doomcock and I will be putting his ass on trial for that tonight. That will be a priority. Right after we talk about the Wokeman, we're talking about that. As far as a Lucas cut, hey, there's a Snyder cut, and it exists. And to be frank, I would love to see the super duper 5-hour cut. Why the hell not? Professor Thaskalos, the master. I can't thank you enough. You put yourselves through what you do to watch Hollywood trash, and I care what you all have to say, especially Jeremy. And I hope Jeremy heard that out there. Get it together now for $2. Thank you, the master, for $5. Professor Thaskalos. Hey, where is the love for the Vikings? The TV show. Odin, was it Odin who said he liked it, and somebody else was behind on it? I never got into it. Mrs. Nerdrotic liked it a lot, though. She did. So there's no hate for Vikings, that's for sure. Blue Blood 71 for $5. Episode 9 is so bad that even Mike Zero has turned against it. He's been saying episode 9 is woke garbage, and he would know he's from the future. Mike Zero is Fandom Menace. We welcome him with open arms, and I know a lot of people clown him, but we all do it in good nature. I genuinely like what the guy does on his channel. He's a machine with content. I respect him. I would be happy to talk to him anytime. Mark C for $10. Came in late. Sorry if you already discussed this. No, it's okay, Mark C. Per Vanity Fair this Monday, the first trailer for Ghostbusters Afterlife will drop on YouTube. Yeah, that will be a trailer reaction I'm doing. That's big enough. I will be covering the Ghostbusters Afterlife trailer. It'll be, Monday evening probably. I'm all over it, Mark C. I'll do trailer reactions for Star Wars and Doctor Who and stuff I care about. I apologize I didn't do one on The Expanse. If you haven't seen it, The Expanse trailer is extraordinary. It's the best trailer I've seen this year. Proudly downvote number 16, a silent poet number 75. Thank you for $2. And that's what we were downvoting Jeremy's video on D-Day Cobra. Sir Salty the Panda. Red Black Company by Glenn Cook. It's dark fantasy. Or Read Black Company, sorry. I will check it out. I love that stuff. I am currently reading Blood of Elves. I'm almost done, and it's great. I love it. I'm going to read it again. I'm going to buzz right through it again. It's a quick read. It's fun. I like, if the show is anything like that book, then I will be very happy, and I will be covering the show. I'll probably do 2 videos on it. And generally what I do with Netflix series is I'll do a single video on the first episode, and then I'll do a video on the entire series about a week later. J-Rod, $4.99. Did you guys notice the cowboy spur boot sound at the end of the Mando Chapter 5 is the same exact sound Boba Fett's boots made in Empire Strikes Back? Yes, we did go over that, J-Rod, on Friday Night Tights, and it is going to be the character of the guy who plays Gus Fring in Breaking Bad and, of course, Better Call Saul. Is Better Call Saul coming back anytime soon? When's that coming back? I actually like that show. Get it together now for $2. The Vikings, why do you ignore this? I didn't. Actually, we did talk about it on Friday Night Tights as well. Thank you, Get It Together Now. Maticus Finch, 1820 for $2. I 100% support LGBAT rights. Maddox Finch, love you, man. Get it together now for $2. F you, goodbye. He got angry. We didn't get to the super chats until the next day, but yeah, sorry, man. Sorry. But we never leave a super chat behind. Mary Ashmead for $10. Gary, sorry I haven't been here during the week. I have been spending time with my dad. He's on hospice with stage 4 prostate cancer. I am there during the week and spending all the time I can with him. And there is no need to apologize, Mary. I knew you were dealing with a family issue. I'm really sorry. And yeah, you do not ever have to apologize to me. I appreciate the mods. I know you guys work for free. I know it's very tough to get a hold of me. So you guys are kind of working in the dark a lot of the times, and I appreciate you. And just to let you know, I trust my mods. If anybody has a problem, try to talk to them. They're available on Twitter, or you can try to talk to me. I am pretty easygoing in the chat. You could criticize me all you want. The only thing I don't like is spam, repeating the same thing over and over again. I'll either acknowledge it or I won't. Generally, it's because I can't see it. I don't try to ignore anybody ever. But those are the dog erotics right there. So yeah, I generally I don't ignore anybody, but I have a raging case of adult ADHD and I don't see everything. But do be persistent, with emails and stuff. You can email me over and over again, and that's fine. Just don't like it in the chat because it breaks the flow. And again, as long as you're not insulting to other people in the chat, I don't really care, but you could be insulting to me. It's fine. It doesn't bother me. The comic book hut. I feel honored that I was mentioned in one of his videos. He's going after Jeff right now from the World Class Bullshitters who we had on last Friday. Apparently there was a lot of problems with his comic book, which, I'm not aware of all of them. I just know Jeff is a friend. He's a nice guy. And I don't believe Jeff would deliberately try to go and screw people over. He's not that kind of person. So I'm guessing he'll make it right and do the best he can. If there's any problems, just try to contact him, try to DM him and see what he says. I think the only issue was, I think people, and I mean, this is just a couple of people. Most of the people who were bringing it to Jeff's attention were genuinely trying to bring it to Jeff's attention to say, hey, this, I paid for this. This is a bummer. That's fine. But I would always say, try to DM him first. But I would just say there was a couple people out there. I would question their motivation. I think they were just trying to hurt Jeff, make Jeff look bad because they don't like some other people that he's associated with. And that's the internet. R-Far, Bulls Trek for Inquisitor 2020. Hell yeah, Bulls Trek is one of my favorite YouTubers. He is a friend. He is a great guy. I was very to have him on last Friday night. I was under the weather last Friday night too, so I wasn't I didn't have my A game. I'm sorry. I tried. I had my almost A game, my A- game maybe. But we're going to have Bulls Trek back because I love Bulls Trek. He's a great YouTuber. Subscribe to Bulls Trek. A solid guy and a Canadian too. Jeremy Harrison for $5. I have been a Bond fan since I was 9. Seeing his balls chopped off is going to be a disgrace. Jeremy, this is going to be Terminator Dark Fate all over again. And you're right. I think that's a very apropos description. He's going to get snipped. Ahem, my eyes are up here. Ahem, my eyes are up here. A good film can't be spoiled. Change my mind. I'm not going to change your mind because I believe that. I believe that a human being can tell you the plot of a movie, and if it's a classic and it's good, it doesn't matter because it's the actual experience of seeing the movie. tell you what, when I watched Star Wars for the first time when I was 7, I had little doubt that the good guys would win. I had little doubt that the Death Star would blow up. Sorry, spoilers. When I was 7, I didn't think they would be subverting my expectations. But guess what? I enjoyed the hell out of the movie, knowing completely that the good guys would win. Subverting expectation is a cheap trick by less talented people. Some nobody for $2. Normie friend and working is going. Shed a tear for him. And work is going. I will shed a tear for him. Some nobody. And some nobody for $2. Just like with white woman 2 and slave only for her. That was probably in reference to something we were talking about Friday, but I can't remember. Just like white women to end slavery only for her. Or just like a white woman to end slavery only for her. And that had to be a joke from last Friday. That probably was pretty funny. I'm sorry I didn't read it, some nobody. I apologize. We do try to get to all the super chats in one episode. It was 4 hours. And again, I'm sorry. I don't want to make a habit of this, but I will take care of you guys in a specific show. And this will be on Nerdrotic Live when it's done. So it doesn't get unlisted forever. I don't unlist any, if you guys aren't aware, I have an alternate channel called Nerdrotic Live where I put all of my live streams. So if you want to please subscribe over there, all you have to do is search Nerdrotic Live and you'll see it. And it's a blue circle instead of a yellow circle. Because blue and yellow were always my favorite colors because I was a lifelong Charger fan until they moved to LA. Fuck Dean Spanos. 200-watt studio. Rise of Walker will fail. Epstein didn't see Solo. And hashtag Solo lost money, everyone. Hashtag Solo lost money. Here's how the Fandom Menace, he's now Fandom Menace, and he's a shill before. What's the story? Mazzamonte for £2. Was Mike Zero a shill before? I never talked about, are you talking? Yeah, I think Mazzamonte, I think that's a good question. Okay. And I think, well, here's how I would deal with it. I'm not the rule maker or the rule breaker or the Fandom Menace. I am just I support the hashtag. If somebody even was a shill before, and say they were a shill, but they didn't attack fandom. They were the kind of shill like, I love everything Star Wars, zibbity-doo, zibbity-da, Star Wars, woo-wee, you know. But then they realized later that it was nothing but crap and they wanted to come on over to the Fandom Menace. Hell yeah, we welcome them with open arms. Totally. We don't judge people for that. If you were a shill who took advantage of the very low-hanging fruit of picking on toxic fandom when the whole freaking alt-right troll thing was going out there, people were being called Nazis, and hurting their professional careers. I mean, listen, I can complain all day that my face got photoshopped onto a Nazi, but quite frankly, there's other YouTubers out there who have gotten it much worse and did not deserve it. EVS, it put his career in jeopardy. It gave him problems at work. And this is just, you know, hey, Ethan's got his opinion and he has every right to it. It just didn't match up to everybody else's. And that's why, you know, he probably did the right thing and just getting the hell out of there. I would too. But I didn't know if Mike Zero was the type of shill who was talking about, you know, a toxic fandom and talking shit about the Fandom Menace. I think an apology would be in order before we let him on over. But honestly, I mean, it depends on you know, if he says he's Fandom Menace, he is. I'm not a gatekeeper to that. There's certain people I would say, hell no. But I can't tell them not to be Fandom Menace. I just wouldn't associate with them. But that's a very low number. It's a very low number. I think our strength is in our numbers. But yeah, I never accused Mike Zero of being a shill. I've always found him fascinating. A fascinating YouTuber. But thank you, Mazzamonte, for the $2. I think that's a good question. Fred Richards for $5. Disney had a cruise ship stop at Epstein's Island and Solo lost money. Fred, I've heard that. I haven't been able to verify that, but I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. And I think that would be huge news, right? Like big news. Saw Jeremy's hair. It's amazing what Hair Club for Men can do these days. Canceled Jeremy. Oh, Jeremy. I did see a bill for Hair Club for Men. I did. Comic Aussie for Australian $5. Major VMAX movie theater in Perth, Australia. Opening night, 12:01 a.m. Seats only 60% full for episode 9. Seats went on sale October 22nd. I think it's pretty clear that tickets aren't as selling as fast as they were for The Force Awakens nor The Last Jedi. I think this movie will have an excellent opening weekend and fade. And I will go so far to say it will not make $2 billion if Luke Skywalker is only in the movie for like a minute. And yeah, I think that's it. The thing is, J.J. Abrams, or Jar Jar Abrams, is smarter than Rian Johnson. He is going to go out and shovel the fan service on everybody for 2 hours. But I want everybody to keep in mind, because I'm going to keep this in mind. This is the dude that started it all. As much as everybody hates Rian Johnson, I don't like Jar Jar Abrams. As a matter of fact, Rian Johnson is like a little pipsqueak. He's a little douchey Hollywood hipster director. And I can just brush him off. Jar Jar Abrams is an architect of what is going on in Hollywood. He is a founding father of the agenda that's being spread like a virus through Hollywood. He runs so many companies. He has his hands in all the major franchises, and he is secretly, not so secretly, behind all of our franchises just being utterly destroyed with political agenda, and more importantly than that, a complete lack of respect for our modern mythology. Now, I don't care what he says out in public. Listen, anybody who takes these people at face value, I'm sorry, you deserve to be suckered. You deserve to be suckered. If you think there weren't any test screenings because Jar Jar Abrams said so, sucker. You're a sucker. And I'm not saying anybody in the chat is, because I know you guys would not believe that. Matt G, looks like you accidentally, $2 super chats. Thank you so much. By the way, I forgot to do this. Hail Bowles Trek, congrats on 40,000 subs. His channel suffered during the whole adpocalypse with Crowder because Bowles Trek is not very quiet about some of his beliefs, which God bless him for it. But I think he suffered for a little while, but his channel's starting to move again, and I'm grateful. And that is proof your channel goes through ups and downs. You just keep plugging away. You change what you need to change. The most important thing, though, is you got to make content, and you got to make content consistently. Now, you don't have to make a video every day. I think I'm proof of that. I don't make a video every day. But it depends. It depends, because you create your own algorithm to a certain extent. If you're the kind of channel that puts out 4 to 5 videos a day, then you got to keep doing that. There's no way I could do that. No way. Unless I just started talking in front of the camera, and I like to edit. I do like to edit. It's fun. The Black Widow seems like a leftover film. Matt G for $2. It does. It seems like a good, decent film I am not excited for in any way, shape, or form. I saw the Wonder Woman trailer. I thought it was pretty good. I love Gal Gadot. Gal Gadot is a classy, great representative of acting. She has grace. She's a great Wonder Woman. A great Wonder Woman. I hope the movie kicks ass. I hope it doesn't look like what I enjoyed about the last one was there was definitely feminist messages in it. Most of them were very subtle, but it wasn't heavy-handed, and I thought it was a pretty decent movie till the third act. But she did a great job. I think she's a perfect Wonder Woman. And I hope it's good. I do. I hope it's good. I think Patty Jenkins, we'll find out if she's a really good director. And if she is indeed the director that we saw from Wonder Woman, the first one, there is your Superman director right there. If Patty Jenkins can make a good Wonder Woman movie, she can make a good Superman movie. So just give her Superman and let her create Superman in the exact same way she created Wonder Woman. Inspiring. How dumb is it that Hollywood is so caught up in their own frackin' politics that they've got $1 billion franchise right in front of them and they say they don't know what to do with it? They do. They just don't want to tell those kind of stories anymore. They have now restricted themselves due to their own agenda, and this is the beginning of the end. People are going to look for alternative forms of entertainment. We are going to have a new era of independent entertainment because it's easier to get stuff out there now. Less gatekeepers. Well, there's still gatekeepers, believe me. They're just in Silicon Valley. They're not in Hollywood anymore. The new gatekeepers are up in my neck of the woods. Cancel Jeremy. Odds on Taskmaster being a woman for $2. I would say 90%. 90%. I was thinking that too, especially when I saw the costume. I'm going to go back and look at it, but cancel Jeremy. I'm going to say 90% the Taskmaster is a woman. And that 10% must be naive. Must be naivete. It's either evil white male or a woman. Heaven Fires Official. Greetings. Deleted the message. Oh no. For $5. Oh no. Elliot Nelson for $5. Thank you for the donation. Get it together now. Hey, why no love for the Vikings? I already gave you, we already talked about the Vikings twice. Get it together now. I'm glad you really liked that show. I thought you were leaving though. And didn't you say F you? I'm pretty sure you said F you. Anyone else there here? Boba Spurs Spangling at the end of that scene in The Mandalorian. Jonathan Vasquez. Yes, we did. I think they used the same sound effect, just like they used the same sound effect of the Great Dragon with Yoda. I think it was just a member berry. It didn't mean it was Boba Fett. Lately, I've been getting unskippable ROS ads. Eskimono Phono. I don't click those. Those aren't supposed to be on my channel. I'll double check. I don't know if YouTube is putting them on, but I don't put non-skippable ads. Sorry about that. I will double check that. But thank you for letting me know, Eskimono Phono, because I don't. I have YouTube Red or whatever, so I don't see the ads. Red Monarch, Hail Gary, and Panel. Winks at Bionic Belly Button. Hey, what's up, Bionic Belly Button? She was here last Friday. Silent Poet 75. What about the droid attack on Solo? What about the droid attack on Solo Lost Money? Silent Poet 75. I see what you did there. Johnny Whizkid. Jeremy, I know you love the Clone Wars with Ahsoka, but what do you think of the Clone Wars 2003 that was a Cartoon Network? Not everyone talks about it. I love it. I love it. In a lot of ways, I think it's better than the other Clone Wars, but I love Samurai Jack. It took me a long time to get used to the Clone Wars animation. I wasn't ever, and I'm still not crazy about it. I do like the design of Ahsoka, though. She's awesome. Adam Mead, you've been my 12-step program for Star Wars. Awesome. And I will try to do that as well. Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Star Wars Anonymous. We have no dues or fees for membership. We try to practice our principles in all of our affairs, to honor canon, to honor our modern mythology, and respect the customer and the fan and each other as much as possible. Amen. My name is Gary, and I am a former Star Wars fan. Kai MFS. Gary, I found this community through you. Also, you have the best beard. You can do it. We believe. Why, thank you. Why, thank you. I appreciate it. The beard's getting long. It's my winter coat. Jay Terry, world social justice is fandom being considered when writing scripts. It is. Who was the YouTuber who talked about that? It wasn't Jeremy Johns. It was somebody else. He said he'd submitted some scripts and they asked him to put in some more social justice and it would probably get bought up, or it would have a better chance of getting bought up. That is not surprising. That was about as surprising as hearing the Access Media is Access Media. I don't believe it's the end of YouTube. Watch This Is Not the End Copa by Leonhardt. I have watched it. He's a major in a lawsuit, and he says the law is still vague. It is, and that's the danger of it. Here's how it's the beginning of the end of YouTube, and I'm saying it's years off still. The government has just been let in the door, and they have access to money. When have they ever given that up? So I'm going to just enjoy it while it lasts, one day at a time. Have you considered banding Fandom Menace channels together on one site outside of YouTube, like a co-op as a backup? Asked Rich A. That's actually, I think that's a good idea on paper, but I think we're all kind of working on our backups on our own. And that's where I would stick. The thing is, I would love for that to happen. But the problem is, every time I've gotten in a partnership or a band or anything, it's just ended with egos and expectations not being met, resentment. And I don't want that I think keeping things the way we are is good. But if things got desperate, that could happen. That could definitely happen. Thank you, Rich A. P.S. Jeremy, you're a motherfucker. Are we friends now? Bestie? Yeah, and that was a reference to a joke from Friday night when we give each other shit. That is terms of endearment when we give each other shit. Everyone at the Orville are huge Bear nerd fans. Right. We love Bear nerd fun. Mikey Gussler, what did Campia say about Trump being elected? You'll have to ask Jeremy about that one. I never watched Campia. I had only ever heard of him when I started listening to Fandom Menace channels, and that is the God's honest truth. And I'm not one of those YouTubers who goes, I never watched his videos. I watch a ton of shit. I watch Comic Book Hut's video. Mr. TARDIS Reviews did a video about me. I watched that. I just didn't respond. I don't care. Adam Wolford. No one was harmed after a stormtrooper went on a mass shooting. Also, Jeff Epstein didn't kill himself and Solo lost money. Thank you, Adam Wolford, for $5. Aeronaut. Here is some bling. Just wanted to see my new perk icon. By the way, what is this Star Wars thing you guys keep talking about? It's nothing really, Aeronaut. It's not much. Red Monarch for $5. Jeremy has the time for a live stream for Super Chats, but no time for himself. Hail, you mother fracker. You poopy poop bomb of heartbreaking frack. Friends? Yes, we're friends. My eyes. Lonnie Holcomb, that's probably looking at Jeremy's jeans. Oh, that would be a YouTube channel, Jeremy Jeans. And it's just his ripped jeans having, takes. Sean Thompson, speaking of actors saying stupid things, Bad Hulk Mark Ruffalo thinks we need to scrap capitalism. Well, once he's worth $30 million. Sure. Oh, that's Mrs. Nerdrotic. Un momento. I gotta mute the mic just for a sec. Okay. I just had to tell her, I love you, boo, and I'm live. And she said, okay. So thank you for hanging in there. She's my boo. Get it together now for $2. Really loves that Viking show, man. Okay, so I'm going to ask now, get it together now. I want an answer. What do you like about Vikings? 2 more to ignore. Vikings. That Viking show. I know it's historically inaccurate, but if you were historically accurate with the show, it would be a bunch of toothless, ugly people running around, and that really just doesn't work. And I don't think the Vikings were that sexy, but There you go. I want to know what you like about it now, since you've asked me 4 times and you paid $10 to do it. I mean, you got to get your money's worth. Double tap bowl, toke, hail belly button, wink, wink. And that's back to belly button being here. Hail Gary and the chat. I love Geeks and Gamers and Jeremy. And as an Aussie, I have heaps of names for you so we can be mates. You dick, cuck, head, LOL. That's a good one. You guys are trying to keep it clean. You got to keep it clean on the super chat so they'll delete it. Mike Gussler, I'd cast Henry Cavill as the new James Bond. I would too. But I'd like him to be Superman. Todd the Tolerable says, hey, Jeremy, the good thing is about the leaks being true is that we're getting Darth Uche. They can't ruin his character because he's already dead. Incognito. It's not Boba. I want Cad Bane. Yeah. Oh, Cad Bane. That'd be cool. Get it together now. Ignore this for the 4th time. The Vikings. And that's $12. Jonathan Velasquez. Sounds from the boots are exact same as Boba Fett. They certainly were. And Bear Nerd Fun did a video on it. Rich A for $2. Could it be Luke sensing Baby Yoda? You know, these are questions that are going to get asked after season 2. I think it's too early to be Luke, but you know, Luke and Han and Leia are out there. Bill West, I think it's Giancarlo Esposito's character. Yes, it is Gus Frings. It's Giancarlo Esposito, says Joshua Riddle. And that's what we were talking about, the character at the end of The Mandalorian, which took away from the one good scene in the show when they killed May. Unless she's still dead. If she's still dead, then it's still a good scene. No notification again, 3 hours late. Steve Carter, that sucks. And my live stream notifications aren't going out to a lot of people. I've been hearing that, and that's bumming me out. TLJ Russian Bot for $4.99. Gary, I'm sending this chat on behalf of your thumbnail for Friday Night Tights this evening. Gotta be the best I've ever seen. Well, thank you. I was working so hard on that thumbnail. That's why we were late. I put like 15 minutes into that. Thank you very much. I plan to do more. I had a lot of fun doing that one. Get it together now. Get it together now, you guys. Forget others here. Sean Thompson for $5. The Clone Wars episode with Truman Capote Hutt was pretty bad. Yes, it was. I remember that one. Oh, wait. Isn't that the one that they premiered with? That's the one that they showed in theaters. It was terrible. Mattel has Baby Yoda up for pre-sale on Amazon, says Drunk Rhino. Go get it. I don't need one. I'm not buying anything Star Wars. I'm not giving them any money. So, yeah, as cute as Baby Yoda is, and even if my kid was like a baby kid, I would not buy him a Baby Yoda. I wanted to buy a Tron figure the other day, but I'm not giving Disney any of my money. Fuck that. Mark Tuttle for $5. Hey, Gary, a friend of mine works at a top genre toy statue manufacturer. They make everything. He confirmed to me that they passed on the STD line. That I am not surprised. I would like to hear more of that. If you could email me at gary@nerdrotic.com, I'd love to hear about it. I'm gonna guess which one it is. If it's a toy and statue manufacturer, and it's here in the States, it's got to be Diamond, right? Diamond Direct. They had the Star Trek line, and they don't have it anymore. Who else could it be? Who's American? Funko? Does Funko make statues, though? Because Diamond makes statues. Sideshow? Must have been Sideshow, then. Sideshow's premium toy, and Sideshow's great. And, yeah. That's bad if Sideshow passes on you, because they do limited runs, so it's more cost-effective. Could you imagine a woke version of the Ten Commandments? Waiting for that special to come to ABC on Easter, LOL. Josh Nelson, it would totally happen. It would happen. Get it together now for $1. And that is the last one from Friday Night Tights. And we're going to go down. Okay. Down, 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 down. Okay. And we can bring back the camera now. Boom. What's up, everybody? How's it going? All right. We're gonna close this one out. And we're going to check it out here. Thank you. Oh, I got 1,500 people here. That's almost 1,600. That's great. That's great. So, and again, I have the Inquisition tonight. I need to watch The Watchmen in about an hour. I got some time right now, but that's going to be on Doomcock's channel, and I'm sure the Modrotics are all over putting the link up. Hail, my friend Doomcock. He's had... Doomcock has had amazing growth. I just had to say it. I did. Professor Thaskalos for $2. Sad news. Oh, yes, I saw this right before I got on. Okay, here. I can never pronounce his last name when I see it. But here, we're gonna take care of this right now. Show some respect. Oh, sorry, hang on. And I gotta cut my video again. Rene Abrajanos, actor and featured in Star Trek and Altman films, dies at 79. Rene, a prolific actor best known for his roles on television's Benson, Star Trek Deep Space Nine, and his part in the 1970 film MASH playing Father Malachi, died. Macaulay died December 8th at his home in Los Angeles. He was 79. The cause was metastatic lung cancer, and his son Remy Luke that's who told us. He worked constantly as a character actor through several periods and forms, from dynamic theater to 1960s MASH. As for sci-fi in the 1990s and convention goers ever since, he's known as Odo, the shape-shifting changeling and head of space station security on Deep Space Nine. And one of my favorite characters. And I remember him from Benson. And he was so different as Odo and so badass. And it's very sad, so I'm going to watch a couple of Deep Space Nine episodes tonight in honor of Odo, man. Of Odo. Rest in peace. 79, it's a good long life, but still. So thank you for bringing that up, Professor Thaskalos. Rest in peace, Odo. Renee. Hail, Gary, watching. Thank you for the $2. Professor Thaskalos. Lloyd for $5. Hail, Gary, watching your live stream while streaming Destiny 2 on Twitch. Cool. That you got one for each eye. Lloyd. James Hellery for $10. Sorry if it's Hurley for $10. Hail, Gary, get well soon. James, I will try. Daniel for $10. The article you read drove me nuts. What kind of Star Wars fan sees The Last Jedi multiple times in order to find out he was missing of his what was missing from his beloved OG? Are there really fans this dense still out there? Yes. I understand your frustration, Daniel, and I would never question it. Your feelings are valid, as I would say in the recovery. Your feelings are valid. I am not going to minimize your anger with this franchise, and more importantly, your anger with some of the fans who help perpetuate some of this crap by continually going to crap, not having a critical eye, and that brings us more crap. I want you to tell yourself, and listen, I'm as guilty of this as anybody, but when I go to something and I know it's shitty, but I go, well, at least it's The Hobbit. At least it's Lord of the Rings. You know what I'm doing? I'm encouraging them to make more shit like that. And honestly, it's better not to have shit than bad shit. I always err on that side. We met somebody at Star Trek Las Vegas who had finally come to our side, and he came to that point. And you know what? I had to come to it too. With Star Trek. Honestly, I was getting mad at Star Trek in the 90s. I wasn't a fan of the Berman era other than Deep Space Nine, but like it had too much of a stick up its ass, and that's why I didn't really love Enterprise. I mean, it's better than we're getting now, but I still don't love it. We can't keep going. Just because it says Star Trek on it doesn't make it Star Trek. And quite frankly, the Star Wars battle is going on right now. But it's going to be it'll be quieter in another month. But Doctor Who and Star Trek are going to be gnarly. And I can already tell Doctor Who's going to be gnarly. After being quiet for months, it's getting gnarly. So I'm ready. And I'm seasoned from Star Wars now. And yeah, I think he just couldn't believe the fact that his franchise had betrayed him that badly. He had to go back and check. He had been a fan all his life, and he was questioning, like, was it me? And honestly, that's where I was, Daniel, at The Force Awakens. I didn't go back and watch it multiple times. I think I went back and watched it once. But I was like, everybody's loving this movie, and I hate it. So maybe it's just me. It's like maybe I'm old now. Maybe, like, this shit's passed me by. That's what I thought, And then I found a guy named Jeff from World Class Bullshitters. And I started to feel like I still had it. But I was willing to do that too. But now he's brain dead. You're right, Daniel. And you should know from listen, there was two moments that drove me nuts. Leia Mary Poppins across the screen, and Luke milking the tit. I mean, the lightsaber thing pissed me off more later. I was more in shock for that, so it didn't really set in till later. But when he started milking a teat and then using a stick to get over some stupid crevasse to get a fish or something, it was like, what the fuck is going on here? And here's the real reason Rian Johnson came up with Subverted Expectations and got away with writing one script. He didn't know what the fuck he was doing, but he's very good at bullshitting his way out of it. And that's how you survive in Hollywood. Hollywood is filled with talentless hacks. So if you have a semi-talented person who's even more talented at talking bullshit, convincing some money guy there's so many problems with Hollywood. It's a psychiatrist field day there. So Hollywood is run largely by people who bought their way in. All right. So there's a lot of rich people who want to be celebrities too. It's not just enough to be rich. And a lot of times it's people who are heiresses or heirs. They inherited daddy's money. And these are ultra wealthy people. These are the people who finance most of the films. And how they get financed is a very slick producer or an actor goes and kisses this rich person's ass. And then this rich person starts thinking they're talented and they can actually make creative decisions. And that's how this shit happens. How do you think Kathleen Kennedy, who wasn't even good at being a secretary, in her own admission, became one of the most powerful producers in Hollywood? Because she produced Steven Spielberg films. That's why. It wasn't on her talent. She failed upward better than anybody. Alex Kurtzman's just the latest example of a talentless hack failing upward. The people making decisions are creatively void. And it's even worse now. It used to be, back in the old days, it used to be mobsters and, sons or rich guys wanting to get it on with an actress or something like that. Now it's bankers and it's become an investment. And we've turned Star Wars into a little widget. And it excites investors and stockholders. You can't make art like that. You can't make art like that. You could never make another Star Wars ever again. The best they can hope for is maintaining this mediocre, homogenous Star Wars. But Disney Star Wars purchased Star Wars to do better than George Lucas did with it. I guarantee you, Bob Iger, I still think he's dense as hell, but I think he wants to do better than George. I think he's really competitive and really persistent, but I still think he's a freaking boneheaded weatherman who used to read off a teleprompter. And I think that's what he still does. I think he reads off a teleprompter. I think he has to have analysts. He has analysts try to figure out what he's supposed to say in public. He probably has multiple versions of speeches written. He bounces them off people. He goes, what sounds more authentic? What sounds more human? I mean, that's the kind of people we're dealing with right now. Why do you think people are running to YouTube? I would much rather see a person who was not reading a prepared statement, who was not reading off a teleprompter. Now, reading off a screen, I got to do that. But this is you guys. Maybe I should do what Noel does. Call-in show. Maybe we should do that for the Exozone. But yeah, that article drove me crazy too. And I told my patrons, I cut 8 minutes out of that video. That video was a half an hour long. But I had to get it under 30 minutes. 20 is almost too long anyway. But also I was sick as hell. So I was recording it yesterday and I was like falling asleep in my chair like an old fucking man. Cracklin, $4.99. Star Wars should end with all Jedi Force Ghosts shocking Palpatine with lightning, followed up by starships warping into him. That should be. They should go full silly, right, Cracklin, and then play that Creed song. With arms wide open. I don't know if that is that Creed. I don't know, and I don't care. Felipe Abrigo for 2,500 Chilean dollars. Hey Gary, so sad about Renee. One of the best characters from the best Star Trek show, in my opinion. Totally agree. Cheers, man. Cheers to you. Rest in peace, Renee. Rest in peace, Renee. God, we lost DC Fontana and Renee, and 2 Star Trek legends in 3 days, man. 3 or 4 days. Peter Davison for Australian $5. He says, thanks, Gary. You're welcome, sir. Doctor Who is going to be a ginormous woke-ass dumpster fire, and it's only a couple weeks away. So I get to review Doctor Who and Picard. My reviews will be as follows. I will do live reviews, but it's going to be for the UK. And what I was doing last year, so for the premiere episode, I'll do a live review for the UK and I'll do one for the US, and then I'll record a video for Monday. But after that, my live reviews will be for the UK. So they'll be at like 11:30 a.m. Sunday. It's a UK focused show, but those of us in the States, if you got a VPN, you can watch it here. Trust me. By the way, thinking about taking a sponsor for the first time, and it's a VPN sponsor. So I don't know. I'll think about it. I was kind of hoping I wouldn't have to do that. I was trying to be free of that. Remain a true man of the people. You know, anybody could say they're the man or the woman of the people, but I don't know. I would tend. There's a lot of YouTubers out there that I think are men and women of the people that have to remain anonymous to protect themselves based on what they say. And there's some I think who should show their face, especially ones that call out other YouTubers when they say they're the man of the people. Like Tug, I understand why Tug and Yellow Flash don't show their face. They take on some pretty serious subject matter, and Tug has, and it doesn't even help Tug sometimes. Poor Tug's been victimized a lot by those people. So, by the way, I'm going to get both those guys on together for a Friday Night Tights. I got to ask them what night is good for them. But I'm going to get them both together. I think that would be fun. Karen Trout, Thank you for becoming a member at the proto molecule level. I can talk. Oh my God. The Shepherd for $2. If the Orange Man wins, they will double ID. They will double the ID politics. They will. Oh yeah, this will go on longer. But it'll be weak, Shepherd. I mean, I'm not saying they're not going to do it, but I think people will be less patient with it. Joseph Beinwitz. Benowitz. Joseph Benowitz. I got it. $4.99. All men suffer from Weinstein BS. That's right. That's right. Nash McGraw has become a member at the Gandalf level. Welcome. We're going to have our first live stream members only coming up soon. Keep an eye on the community section, like within the next 5 days. Cicero JPN for $5. What do you think is more likely to be more officially released first? The Star Wars Christmas special or the Lucas cut of the original of the Rise of Skywalker? Woo! Christmas special. And I think Jon Favreau will be behind that because he wants to do a sequel to it. Chris Swan, welcome to the proto-molecule level. Thank you very much. To all my Beltalados out there, we have 5 days until the Expanse. 5 days. Andy Cervantes, thank you for the $2. I greatly appreciate the super chat. Justin Norris for $1.99. My brain is just not working today. Renee Aberjones passed. All right, I cannot pronounce his last name, so I'm going to say Ray, but I'm sure when I hear it, I'll know it. But Odo passed away. Rest in peace. Love your channel. Justin, love you too, man. Thank you. And rest in peace, Renee. Sorry I can't pronounce your last name. Ray Fernandez for $5. Do you still worry Disney can mess up The Mandalorian? Yes, but I'm... let me catch myself. Okay. Yes. I think The Mandalorian can be messed up with identity politics, but I don't think it's going to be at this point. I think we would have seen it already. Where I do think they're going to mess it up is making it way too for kids. Like, way too much for kids. Like, this is a streaming service. You want parents to watch with their families. And right now, I'd say the max age on this show is like 18. It's a cartoon. I wanted something a little darker. I wanted something a little messier. I wanted something more sophisticated. And maybe they'll do that in season 2, but I don't think so. I mean, if people are happy with it being a very simplistic cartoon, that's good. And honestly, I've said before, and I'll say it again, Disney needed to go back to the basics. This is how they should have started things, very slowly. And, just kind of feel out your audience. So right now, they are trying to maintain audience. They are losing Star Wars fans. Star Wars is not growing. Okay? Star Wars is not growing. It is receding. And they are aware of that. Less toys are being sold. The movies are making less money. Less merchandise is being made. And this is when they're introducing the streaming service. Simply the most important thing in the history of Disney. The survival of this company depends on this streaming service working. Because they've put billions into it. So for them to go extremely safe, I understand it, but I can still criticize it. This is not especially the shows I watch here. I mean, as shitty as Wokeman is, it tries to be sophisticated. Okay, it tries. The Expanse is an extremely sophisticated, brilliant, intricate show. I mean, that's what I look for. That's what I like. The Orville is simple, but it's not actually. If upon further review, I was watching Red Letter Media's initial review on it, and Mike was ripping the shit out of the Orville, and he felt like I did in the beginning, where it's like, what is this show? I didn't understand it. Once it clicked what it was to me, and then I got it. And the way I explain it is, of course, it is a Star Trek parody, but it's a love letter in the spirit of Galaxy Quest. And I think it's also going to turn into its own thing, a lot like the Venture Brothers did. The Venture Brothers was simply a cartoon parody of Johnny Quest and Saturday morning cartoons. And it turned into its own universe with its own cult following. It has some of the most clever, smartest, brilliant writing I've ever seen in a TV show, much less an animated TV show. The Venture Brothers is gloriously brilliant in every way. And so is the Orville now. Now that it clicked with me. And again, I wasn't crazy about it at first. And now I'm like the biggest Seth MacFarlane fan. Hail Seth MacFarlane, a guy who knows how to treat his fans. He understands that his fans like a lot of things. And some of his fans might not agree with him politically. And he's not telling them to screw off. Seth can still believe what he wants to believe. I don't have a problem with that. But so far, I have not seen him. I can't say never because we still have time left, but I have not seen him or any of the people around him attacking fans. Tom Constantino is constantly, we got to call him Constantino, is constantly on Twitter and promoting the show and being a great representative for that show. I hope they are paying Tom well because he's worth his money. He's reached out to people. He talks to anybody on Twitter. He's a great guy. That's what fandom is. And you know what? All you have to do is be nice. You don't have to agree. It's not like Tom agrees with everybody. It's not like he gets along with everybody, but he tries to be nice. That's all we ask for. Respect the fan. You don't have to agree with them. The fans, listen, I'm a fan. I could be a dipshit sometime. Anybody could be a dipshit sometime. Do you still thank you again, Ray Fernandez. Stephanie Littlepage for $5. Captain Robert April is being discharged to a VA shelter tomorrow, and I'm still stuck in Jacksonville. Oh, no. Why is he going to a shelter? Well, keep me updated, Stephanie. Prayers are with Captain Robert April. Nash McGraw for $10. Kathleen Kennedy had to dress up like Princess Leia one too many times for her husband and thought to herself secretly, I'll end this fucking franchise. That's what I always said. There's something going on. Either they treated her like shit or she felt like they treated her like shit. I don't know. There's something there, though. I think there's something there. I do. The Molander Show for £5. Do you think that we need more representation by aliens? Yes. There were species towards Akbar in episode 8, and Bothans were nulled from canon. Yeah, there's too many humans going, even in the Mandalorian right now. That mechanic, she should have been in alien makeup or something like that, and she did look like Richard Simmons, so props to Egotastic Funtime for pointing that out. And her acting was terrible. Yeah, I think she got hired on and she thought she was going to be in some kiddie show and she acted like the acting was like from a Christmas special, the Star Wars Christmas special. That's what the acting was like. It was like they were trying to even do a nod to 80s acting, except they didn't do it well. It was awful. Bruce Lombardo for $10. Happy Holy Days, everyone. Nerdrotic looking forward to listening to your work here in the coming weeks. Have been busy. I uploaded a Dark Horse Comics review of the Orville and StarCraft today. Oh, excellent. I will check it out, Bruce. I still need to get those Orville comics. I do. And I want to get them in comic form. I got the first one at Comic-Con. Cesario JPN for $5. Also, rest in peace, Carol Spinney, the original actor, puppeteer of Big Bird. That's right, and Oscar the Grouch. Dude was still doing it until last year in his 80s. Dedication. That's loving your work. That's dedication, and that was my Big Bird. That was the one I grew up with. That's how old that guy was. He was just starting out when I was a little pipsqueak watching Sesame Street. Yeah, that's, God. Sesame Street was a new show when I was a kid. That's how old I am. Captain Spire. He lived a good long life. Yeah, that sucks. Captain Spire for $5. I'm a fan of DuckTales. Yes, DuckTales was good. The winters of the new series have done more to please the original fan. The writers of the new series have done more to please the original fans and make a superior reboot. There is zero agenda in it. Brilliant. And Captain Spire, I had your mail here, but we'll have to do it next time. But thank you, Captain Spire. That was Destiny Captain. I always get it mixed up. I would do anything to explain to Hollywood the difference between subverting expectations and subverting tropes. WZRBS or Reserves or WZRBS for $5. I would too. And maybe just explain it to Rianne. Adam Child for $9.99. Just wanted to say hi. Gary, do you feel like you have invisible Fandom Menace members whispering in your ear? Yes, I do. That's such a... It's so weird. Sounds like JJ might be hearing voices. Yeah, there's nobody... little fans whispering in his ear. Yeah. You know what he's got whispering in his ear? You got $500 million in the bank account that you suckered out of Warner Brothers. That's what he got. Hail fandom. Hail all. Thoughts on Arrowverse. Nebraska because for $3.99. No more thoughts on it because I don't watch it. I think, doesn't Crisis start tonight? I might watch it on my CW app tomorrow or something, but I have no thoughts on it anymore. I used to like it, and actually, my first podcast, Nebraska, my very first one, I'm praising the shit out of Arrow. I'm calling it like the gold standard of television. This is the direction we want to go. But I did say, as long as it doesn't get CW, and it did. Michael Daishi for $2. Keep on feeling your way through the YouTube minefield. I will do that. Thank you, Michael. How do I put in the chat? How do I pronounce your name, Michael? Dietche. Daishi? Captain Liberator for $5. Disney wants Star Wars to be a princess movie franchise. It did, and it's so weird because they bought Star Wars and Marvel to get boys back because it was looked at as a girls' company. And guess what? It is. Disney's mainly for girls. I mean, I know people are into the parks and stuff like that, and I'll put that aside. But I mean, until Star Wars and Marvel came around, that was a girl brand. You know, it just was. Sorry, Bruce. I'm looking to see if Dishi. Okay, thank you. I got it. Dishi. Thank you, Michael. I'm sorry if I messed up your last name. Thank you for putting it in there. Loquacious Primate for $2. Hey, Gary. Hope my email was helpful for your site. It will be once I get to it. I have been, I was sleeping the last 2 or 3 days, kind of on and off, making a video and being unconscious. But yes, and I will be hitting you up, Loquacious, because we need to get on that. I haven't pumped the GoFundMe later because something came up, which might be helpful, which I will talk about on the Nooner tomorrow. Loquacious Primate for $2. I appreciate you. Bjorn for 20 Swedish krones. Epstein didn't. Solo lost money. By the way, that came up from Friday Night Tights. Instead of Epstein didn't kill himself, we decided, and I think this is the only group decision the Fandom Menace has done, or I can't say ever done, but done in a long time, and done on my channel, was we're all going to try to make hashtag solo lost money the Epstein didn't kill himself of the Fandom Menace. I thought it was funny, and that's why I'm rolling with it. Have you heard about how well Watchmen is apparently doing? They released the DVR numbers a while ago. Saw it on the quartering. Lloyd, yeah, so Watchmen, I've been covering ratings here for a long time. So, and we covered it on the last episode, Lloyd. With the DVR numbers, you need to double what was seen overnight. So what Cosmic Book News was going by the overnight ratings, and you can't do that anymore. You have to go by the DVR and streaming, which takes a week. So what you basically do is double the ratings. So if 100,000 people watch it, then 1.5 million. They aren't spectacular ratings, but I don't think it's getting a season 2. I don't. And if it does, I don't think Damon Lindelof is going to be involved because they came out with an article earlier saying this was meant to be one season and that's it. If it gets a season 2, that's fine. I don't care. I'll cover it. It sucked. It sucks. But let's see here. I would say there's about 1.5 million people watching it. Variety was reporting that every week, though. So Cosmic Book News, I don't know if they were catching that. Variety would report a week later that Watchmen was getting about 1.5 million. That's still 500,000 to 1 million less than what Westworld was getting. So I wouldn't call it a mega hit, but it's okay for cable, I guess. But it trends number 3 on Twitter. That's when Dr. Manhattan came back. But yeah, there's no accounting for taste. Last Jedi made a lot of money, but I did see the Quartering put up that video. Thanks, Lloyd. Appreciate you for $5. Some nobody for $5. I used to feel bad for Mark Hamill until he ran his mouth. Yeah. Imagine that they get back together, but they give it to Rianne Cheesewheel Johnson. Yick. I mean, they might. They might give him a trilogy. Bob Iger might give him a trilogy. And you know what? Please do it. Please. Please, for the love of God. I want an A-Force movie. I want a Section 31 TV show. And I want a Rian Johnson trilogy. At this point, fuck it. Do it. Please. Mark C. for $5. R.I.P. Renee Auberjonis. Is it Auberjonis? And Carol Spiney, a.k.a. Bidbird. Thank you, Mark C. Mark C., always classy. Always classy. Some nobody for $2. Nothing wrong with sponsorships. Bad rap for nothing. No, I don't judge any other YouTubers for doing it. If people want to give you money, man, get that cheddar. Go, you do it. Don't say no. Here's the problem I have with sponsorships. They want to check out my video first, and I'm not down with that. So if they want to sponsor me, it's got to be, you give me the money, I'll put it in a video of my choice. I'm not going to check what I say, and that's that. I don't want a percentage of click-through, blah, 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 none of that crap. You give me money, I'll put it in a video of my choosing. And I would put it in, like, my next video. I wouldn't, like, I don't know. Every video I do, I try to do the best I possibly can. I try to get the most reach. The ones that don't do as well are live streams. And quite frankly, I'm going to keep my Mandalorian ones up because that used to be my bread and butter here on this channel. And while it's not the main thing anymore, I still want to keep doing it because I like to do it. I like to do the live reviews. I haven't done a Mandalorian video yet. I think I'm going to do one for season 1 because not much goes on in the show. They would be 2-minute videos, but I think it's better to discuss the episode with people afterwards. I still like it. David Lutz for $2. Could The Expanse be SJW now because of Amazon? David Lutz, that's a good question. And I will tell you that The Expanse books go SJW in the last 3 books. But not terribly, okay? But it's enough to be annoying. And I haven't been a fan of the last 3 books. Book 6 was terrible. No, it had a terrible character. Michio Pa was a super SJW character. Couldn't stand her. And I'm glad they're writing her out of the show. Book 7 did something ridiculously stupid. And I think it was because the show got canceled. But then book 8 got better. Book 8 got much better. So will the show go that way? Well, I've seen the first episode and the answer is no, but I need to warn anybody who's never watched the show. This is an established world 300 years in the future where racism is kind of gone, but classism has taken its place. And there are a lot of women in charge. They have a woman U.S. president. They do tend to make the men evil, but they've made women evil too. They made a white guy a bad guy last season, and they didn't give him the proper characterization that he had in the book, which made more sense. But he was still pretty good. But one of the main bad guys was a Japanese guy. So, I mean, they mix it up. So I haven't seen that. I know some people might say Bobby's a Mary Sue or Naomi is. That would be ridiculous. These are two like flawed characters that are real characters that are played very well. Especially Naomi Nagata, played by Dominic Tipper. Of course, the people creatively behind it are probably progressives, but it's run by Rand Shankar, who used to work, or Naren, did I say Rand? Naren Shankar, excuse me, who used to work on Deep Space Nine and Farscape, and it's still one of the best shows. I watched the first episode of season 4. It wasn't woke. Not even a hint of it. So, and I'll tell you, David, I'll be the first to tell you. But the books did. The books did. Thunder Robots for $5. Star Wars ends with Rey exiting the STD holodeck and Solo lost money. That would probably happen. Oh my God. I was just watching Star Trek Discovery today for the review. It's like, oh my God, it makes your brain melt. It's so fucking stupid. How these people get paid for writing. They get paid for doing this. Oh. And you know, I know why Alex Kurtzman won't hire anybody with any Star Trek cred, with any balls. Because they'll call him out. They'll call him out for being a complete poser. Oh, look at you, Mark. Awesome. Aubergenois. Thank you. Think French when pronouncing the J. Aubergenois. There we go. Ichibaka would like to be on your channel, says Jake Skywalker for $1.99. Ichibaka will be on my channel then. I would love to have Ichibaka on my channel. I love Ichibaka. We'll see if he, I remember we talked, he said he could only do days. That's kind of tough for me. If he can do an evening for Friday Night Tights, I would love to have him on. I've been a Doctor Who fan since John Pertwee. Episodes were shown here in the early 70s out of order. I was lucky to be born in Mass when I watched WGBH Boston. Love Tom Baker, and now I am heartbroken. Chumley 73 for $20. I'm right there with you, man. I this season's gonna be so goddamn cringe because you know what? Last time I be careful what you wish for. We were saying where are the monsters? Where are the monsters? And now they're gonna bring them in with double the woke, and it's gonna be try hard, and it's gonna be awful. And it's like they're responding to every single bit of our criticism. Like in that last somebody sent it to me on Twitter, the cast interview. All they were saying is, it's exciting. I was scary. It's like a blockbuster. It's like, okay, it's gonna really suck. How do you like the Harmy Star Wars trilogy? The Harmy Star Wars trilogy. You mean as a name? The Harmy Star Wars trilogy. Explain that, 200 Watt Studio. Something went right over my head. Hail Gary Nerdrotic, the best way to wind down the weekend of work. Chris Stanley, thank you very much. Classic, I appreciate the $5. Felipe Abrigo, Solo didn't kill himself and I got the hiccups. And Epstein lost money. That's funny, Felipe. Thank you. Classic Comics for $5. R.I.P. Renee. Okay, I'm going to try this. Aubergenois. I'm still messing it up, probably. The baby boomers are hitting their 70s. In the next decade, we're going to be losing our favorite performers on a daily basis. Yes. You think 2016 was bad, and it was. 200 Watt Studio for $5. How do you think the show will handle Avasarala when they get to book 7? I think the show will always handle Avasarala with great respect, and I don't think they're going to do what they did in book 7, 200 Watt Studio, because that was a freaking numbskull decision. I mean, did you hear how they explained it away later? So it tells me right there that it felt like they were trying to sabotage it because the show got canceled, and they announced they were going to do another trilogy. And by the way, book 9 isn't out. And they came out with a book a year, and book 9 isn't out yet. When's it coming out? We just got a novella that just hit my my Audible account. By the way, Audible, that I'm available, dude. Audible, I will sponsor the hell out of Audible for sure. I'm an Audible fan. Fizenthorpe for $5. I watched Westworld season 1. Great show. I wish they would bring back bring it back to Westworld, but it looks like it's going out to the modern world for season 3. Westworld season 1 is damn near a perfect season of television, and Westworld season 2 is a perfect example of the woke turn Hollywood made during that time. It absolutely derailed that show, and I can recommend the single best video on this subject is by Critical Drinker. Watch the Critical Drinker's video on Westworld season 2. He basically says, much better than I did, what I was saying after I reviewed that series. And he encapsulates it perfectly. Mitch Sansom for $4.99. What 2019 movies are worth owning to you? I don't think Shazam got enough love this year. Doesn't seem like any good movies are coming out in 2020 also. Wonder Woman looks okay. I own Shazam. I will own Joker. I will own Ford versus Ferrari. Will I own Endgame? Because I haven't bought Endgame yet, believe it or not. I don't know. I don't think so. If they release the Snyder Cut, I will own that. I don't think they will this year. If the Orville released a Blu-ray, I would own that, but they don't. If Altered Carbon released a Blu-ray, I'd own that, but they won't. If Bright released a Blu-ray, that came from about 2 years ago. Not much, no. Joker, I'm going to buy the Joker for sure. So Joker, Shazam, Ford versus Ferrari. If you liked Endgame, fine. I'm trying to think of what else I saw in the theaters this year. I didn't see a lot. I watched more television than anything else. Not Captain Marvel. That's for damn sure. If you don't view STD and Doctor Who as comedies, your head will explode. They are like bad 80s movies that were so bad they were good. Solo, Lost, Cheddar. Thank you, Demonic Bioman, and you are correct. That's the only... Well, it is funny. They are. I mean, Star Trek Discovery, I laugh out loud so much when I'm watching that. For $5, thank you, Demonic Bioman. Christopher Arcella for $2. Did you get my super chat? I got it now. Was there one earlier? Let me check. Maybe it skipped on me. Oh, whoa, there's a couple that skipped on me. Yeah, okay, thanks for letting me know there, Chris. Sorry about that. Dr. Nerdrotic, just saw the trailer for Wonder Woman 1984. My first reaction was positive, no agendas, and Steve Austin is back. Interested in your first reaction. Critically think, everyone. Thank you, Dark Clickster, for $9.99. I thought it was pretty good. I'll be honest with you, it didn't move me. I didn't go, whoa, this is great, I can't wait. And I don't do that with a lot of stuff. I thought it looks pretty good. I'm happy Steve Trevor's back. Gal Gadot is beautiful and classy and amazing and a perfect Wonder Woman. And I'm hoping Patty Jenkins can improve on the last movie. And if she does, I think they should give her Superman. But as far as the actual movie, it's a prequel. It takes place in 1984. I like my superhero movies connected. I know a lot of people are over that stuff, but I want the DC universe connected. So I will say I'm excited, but not super. I'll be there opening night. I'll review the film, but I'm not crazily excited about it. I thought it was just as good as the Black Widow trailer, which was, yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good, but it didn't rock my world. I'm just hoping this VA joint has decent Wi-Fi. I hope it does too, Captain Robert April. Thank you for the $2, and I'm good to hear from you. The Art of the Real for $25. How's the Anas Abdeen lawsuit going? How's your crowdfunding going? Please, product endorsement, shovel as much money into your bank account as you possibly can, as long as you don't compromise your opinions. Agreed. And that's what I'm thinking of doing. So the crowdfunding, I was kind of holding off. I want to offer something back. I don't know. I feel weird about it. I feel weird about it, but I need to piss or get off the pot on that. I'm thinking of offering like a print. I want to get an artist to make a print and sign it and give it to everybody who donates over like $5 or $10 or something like that. The Anas Abdeen lawsuit is still cooking. It is the decision. They were waiting on it's the second highest court in the land that's making a decision on it. A judge has to decide whether the appeal will move forward or not. I have not heard anything. I heard the decision could have been made. I don't know, but that's the last I heard. We were waiting for that judge's decision, and that's what the crowdfunding went towards. The $20,000 went to pay that for the fee to have that judge make a decision. And yes, it cost $20,000. That's fucking ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous for protecting your own property. Yeah, tell me shit doesn't favor the giant companies that can afford this shit. They find it in their couch. Okay, now, Chris, I'm looking for your other super chat there, buddy. I'm still looking for it. Chris Arcella. Yeah, speaking of Hollywood and elitism, even art is becoming elitist and full of crap, as the recent news of the duct tape banana sold for $125,000 is shown. And Chris, you know it's not about that duct tape banana. It's about the elitist who took interest into... So some elitist, and this is what they do. They take interest in an artist. This artist is a hack, but an important person took interest in him, and then that person becomes important. They become anointed by the elitist. A fucking duct-taped banana. I don't agree with Paul Joseph Watson on a lot of stuff, especially his views on superheroes. I think those are pretty stupid. But I do agree with his recent views on pop music and some views on modern art. Nothing wrong with Spasha. Okay, so thank you, Chris Arcella. That I did. All right, so I got to make sure none other jumped on me. Anthony Zappin for $2. Crisis starts tonight. Thank you. Destiny Captain, Gary, The Lost Room, $1.99. Oh, I did get it. Yes. Hang on. Booyah. Thank you, Destiny Captain. Here it is. I got it. Thank you. The Dr. 14. Thank you, my man. I will watch it, okay? The Dr. 14 Blu-ray reviews for £2. Are pantomimes woke? Are pantomimes woke? Yes. Matthew Guy for £2. Have you seen Smack Talk reviews by Voxes? So funny. I have not. I will check that out. If it's funny, I want to see it. Amguana Kika. The last name is Kickass. I like that. So I'm just going to say Kickass for $4.99. Thank you very much. It looks like it jumped on me a little bit, so that's why I'm going back. Get RedTube, no ads, money well spent, says Bruce Lombardo for $2. I completely agree. Captain Liberator for $5. Disney wants Star Wars to be a princess movie franchise. Okay, I read that one, so I'm just making sure I get everybody's here. Chumley, 73, I got that one. Abrigo, here we go. Fred Richards for $2. The banana was eaten, apparently. I hope it did get eaten. That would be fucking funny. 200 Watt Studio for $2. Be like that pretentious but brilliant douche Banksy, who like destroys his art, and I used to be into Banksy and stuff, but I think he's also, he tries to be so anti, but he's so part of that system, but he's not. But I did watch Exit Through the Gift Shop, and I did like it. Why isn't Knots landing on DVD or BD? Solo lost money. That's a good question, 200 Watt Studio. They don't want to. They're not going to put that stuff on Blu-ray for sure. DVDs will still be made for a long time. Blu-rays will not, and eventually physical media will be gone. Hey, Gary, I should have mentioned on Friday Night Tights that Daniel Craig cross-dressed for equal pay on his YouTube video. It's very important for the Phantom Menace to watch the video and understand what is coming. Sam, I'm all over it. Gary, will you review Miss Universe pageant tonight? It's very educational. I will be reviewing The Watchmen. I got to watch it in a few minutes here. Warner Brothers should hire Rebirth writers for DCEU. It was Mark Waid. It was a good comic, but no. They should hire Paul Dini. Paul Dini and Bruce Timm. Paul Dini. Hire Paul Dini. Paul Dini, Paul Dini, Paul Dini. What would you do for YouTube What would you do for YouTube you didn't do day one? What would I do for YouTube I didn't do day one? I don't know. Elaborate in the chat. Elaborate on that question, Captain Spire. Brain's not working that much today. You got to be clear with me today because my clarity is just blah. But do it in the chat. Don't send a super chat. So Christopher, I got your super chat. David, 200 watt. Fred Richards, Sam Whiskey. Just waiting for Captain Spire. Otini. Gotcha. Okay. So I'm going to wrap this one up. We have 1,739 people watching. That's great for a super chat square up. Thank you all for joining me. I will be on the Inquisition on Doomcock's channel in 1.5 hours, 90 minutes from now. Go to Doomcock's channel. We're going to be live. We're going to be talking about the Wokeman, and we will definitely be talking about what Bob Iger said in the Wall Street Journal. The Wall Street Journal. I got it right once in the fuck. I was out of it. Okay. I couldn't edit it out of the base. Fuck it. I don't care. I say shit wrong all the time. I call Star Trek Star Wars. I make the worst crime of all is a couple of times instead of calling the doctor, I've called the doctor Doctor Who. It's like, oh, bad nerd. Need a print? I'll draw one for you of your sci-fi girl. If you don't like it, don't use it. If you won't hurt my feelings. Mark C, draw me a print. Her name is Cosmic Crater Girl. I'll give you two. I'll email you two pictures. The two pictures I have by Derek. She's designed by Derek Robertson, and totally draw it. Yes. If we don't use it, we'll use it for something, but I'll probably use it for something like that. Thank you, Mark. I'd be happy for you to draw the Cosmic Crater Girl, who is created by yours truly, Mrs. Nerdrotic, and Derek Robertson, co-creator of The Boys and Happy and Transmetropolitan. Somebody who, I don't know, I was this close to ask him on the channel, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to get him in trouble. I mean, Derek and I are very close friends, and I know for a fact he still loves me. He does not agree with me on my politics. I don't agree with his politics, but I still love him. But I know that if he came on this channel, he would probably get some shit, and I wouldn't want to put him through that. But I've had him on the channel, so you know what? Look in the community section in about an hour, and I'll show you the interview I did with Derek. But it was with my old co-host, and we don't speak anymore. So there we go. Okay, Sam Whiskey, thank you for the $19.99. Captain Spire, Mark C, please like, share, and subscribe. Please support your favorite independent content creator. Make sure you are still subscribed. The scrub is not over until, I think, midnight tonight. I already got hit, though. So thank you, everybody who's subscribed. Welcome to all the new subscribers. And I'll see you on the Exozone. And remember, not all who wander are lost.